Silverton is known as the Hollywood of the Outback, you know, and Broken Hill really is known as a film mecca because, you know, people come here to make films and commercials and that kind of thing.
From all around the world, you know, they'd come and do amazing photo shoots out in the desert, whether they want old buildings or whether they're after dramatic landscape or, you know, rocks or trees or desert or sky. Broken Hill has got the, you know, great setting for the visual backdrop.
It's funny because it was only the other night we rewatched Razorback, which at the time really wasn't that well accepted when it came out. I mean, it was the Australian equivalent of Jaws, or that's what they wanted. But you watch it now, it's fantastic. You know, it really is a cult classic, and it was filmed in exactly the same locations that Mad Max 2 was filmed in. The lookout, down at the pub, out at the pinnacles. You can clearly see why the location managers picked these areas. There's something really unique about Silverton that makes it stand out from a lot of other outback towns. And you can clearly see why filmmakers, people want to come here and make films, because you've got this natural backdrop. It doesn't matter what direction you're looking around here, but it looks like you're on a movie set.
The palace was originally built in 1889 as a coffee palace, and it was in the mid-1970s that the building was purchased by Mario Cellotto. So he was an Italian fellow, and he really left his mark on the building in the most sort of prominent manner. Mario had this idea that he wanted the building to feel like an oasis in the desert. We get lots of film crews that come in and stay, and we'll be, you know, partway through booking in, and then they sort of sit back and look up and think, you know, I've had people squeal and scream, like, how did I not notice that? Oh my God, look at all those birds. So they filmed about 60% of Priscilla Queen of the Desert in Broken Hill, and they end up using this hotel as their central set for a lot of the other scenes of the movie, which are meant to be in other places. And it was a perfect little wonderland for Stephen with regards to not needing to dress anything and having, I guess, all the props and backgrounds that you could ever want. So this is the Priscilla suite that they come and stay in the movie. You see them drink the minibar and have a bit of a fight in here. Stephen tells a story about when he was getting shown around town, you know, trying to look for locations for the movie, and they kept on driving past the hotel, and he says he's always kept on looking out the window. What's that building? Well, what about that building? When am I going to go in there? And they would always go, oh, no, I don't think you'll like that in there. And, oh, no, we won't go there today. Or, no, I don't think it's any good. We won't go in there. So that just really piqued his interest, I think, a bit more. So we thought, right, tonight I'm going to go see what's going on with this hotel, why they won't let me in there. And he went and rang the doorbell, and Mario answered the door and brought him into the office, and he sort of started looking around and seeing all these fabulous paintings all over the walls, and he walked into the office, and Mario had been stuffing a chicken just on the front office there, and, you know, looked around at all these other stuffed birds in the office, and he just thought, great, I've got my location.
I was 18 at the time when I went to see Mad Max in England. From the opening credits of the first film to the closing credits of Mad Max 2, I have to say my jaw was on the floor. I had to go home and kind of have a think about what I'd seen on screen. It completely reshaped my life. I think that was probably the reason that I ended up buying a Falcon Coupe to convert it into the Interceptor, really, because I never really thought that I would ever get to Australia. 10 years ago, we actually came as a family to do the sights of both the first two films. So I said to my wife, I said, do you think you could live here? And thinking that it would never happen, she said yes. The museum is all about, well, it pays homage to Mad Max 2. There's memorabilia from photographs to props, vehicles, some real and some replica. The mannequins, actually, I put together myself. I'm quite competent in airbrush work. I used to do a lot of that on bikes and cars when I was younger, but I wanted them to be full representations of the characters so that people could see what the characters were like in the film close up. As far as the little feral kid goes, well, I actually found a small mannequin on eBay. It was perfect because Emil Minty, who played the feral kid, had this great look on his, you know, this perfect child's face. I struggled to find a hairpiece for it, and then had a look on eBay and find the Ozzy Bogan wig, which was perfect. It actually looked like what he had on in the film. I absolutely love it here. I mean, it's just incredible to be right, you know, kind of, as I said before, in the thick of where all Mad Max was filmed, to be right here doing this is just fantastic.